Welcome back. I'm Alfred Lambrot Weber, and we're with Ole Dammengard with an important update. It's very brief. Ole, please go ahead.
As you know, since we've been going through so many of these different alleged terror attacks, one of the things that the people involved in this do is that they leave clues for the upcoming event. And this has made it possible for me to predict 3 or 4 of them. The latest one, the London attack, 1 month before it happened. So we need to be very aware of this, what they're doing, and try to understand these almost like encrypted messages that they put in the footage, in the evidence, and so on. And I believe that I have I found clues for the next upcoming event. But it's there's a card deck called the Illuminati card deck, and there's one called that talks about exactly multiple events at the same time, how they do coordinate attacks. There's also a British company called Crisis Solutions that are very, very proud in their presentation video. They come up with this whole thing of how they can help the client with coordinated attacks, even in different nations across the Atlantic and so on, all coordinated from one center, and also assisted by Twitter campaigns, Facebook email campaigns, all of these things, news campaigns, including contact and involvement by what looks like military, police, ambulances, and so on. So it's exactly what we see here. And I think we really need to expose companies like that, because in my opinion, super dangerous, because how can we tell the difference? They're getting better and better in many ways. So what I think that I found is that on the very first video that came out was taken by a person who was in a cab, and they stopped the cab, and you can see that he gets out and films the bridge. There's only a few people lying there being taken care of, and there's absolutely no traffic, which, like, things like that makes me go like, whoa, hang on a second, because it was midday in central London. Where are the cars? And here we have like a sequence of at least 20 seconds, not a car at all. Oh, there's one car, but that's about it. And it doesn't match up either with the other footage. Turns out that the band that filmed it is a Bilderberg member, a former Polish foreign minister called Radoslaw Sikorski. So just that made me like, whoa, we need to look into this, because how is it possible? And I would suggest that I found the answer to that is that it was not recorded on that day. That specific sequence was not recorded that day. It was recorded, if I and other researchers are correct, on the 24th of September 2016. And it was because the bridge was shut off for 2 hours in the morning on a Saturday when there's no traffic at all. They asked for permission with high-speed driving. And also, it was the Pinewood Studios in the UK. So since I'm born in Denmark, the 9th of April is a very important date in Danish history, because that was the day when Denmark was invaded by the Nazi occupation. And it's a day that every year is being remembered, that and the 5th of May, which was the day of liberation. So I thought of that, whoa, that date I know, but I had no idea that anything about it. The question is, what target would they choose? And what we've seen a clear pattern of with these operations is that either they aim at something that has to do with communication, like train stations, big train stations, airports, also ferries and planes. These are the things that they aim at, or schools when it comes to mass shootings, because they want the emotional thing going, and then it's easier if it's kids that is said to have been shot and so on. But also, they look for buildings that has a national identity, that are a tourist thing, so that you can get an international impact, and also with sometimes with an historical connection also that has to do with the national identity and so on. This can also be a person, like an actor or somebody that is sort of the pride of this country. So when you look at the date, which is the Nazi invasion of Denmark, I would say there is the Little Mermaid, which is the symbol for Denmark, more or less, and she is located very close to a museum called the Museum of Freedom, which shows the resistance movement's fight against the German occupation and so on. And also very close to that is the headquarters for one of the secret police units, as far as I know. If there's an attack planned for the 8th, then or the 9th, I would think that maybe the 8th is where they prepare the whole drill, and the 9th is where they would do the hit itself, because that is the historical date. I've also been given indications that people in Rotterdam, in Holland, and in Italy as well, people have suggested that these two could also be possible targets. I don't know.